morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is indeed a great day in our neighborhood. And I am so pleased and proud to be here in the capital city of Tallahassee, where we have jewels like Miss Althemese Barnes that God dropped down from heaven directly for us. And we thank him for that. We also thank him for her companion, her husband, her boo, her babe, her honeydew, Mr. Barnes, always by her side. You know, I heard saying that Ginger Rogers said she did everything Fred Astaire did, backwards and in heels. So guess what? Mr. and Mrs. Barnes, they did it together. Thank you, thank you. It is indeed my honor to be here today as we honor this remarkable young lady, yes, young lady, Mrs. Althemese Barnes. And seeing how many of you who are here today to celebrate, it is indeed a testament to the immense impact that she has made and continues to make in our community. How many of you know that she's retired? As Serena Williams said, she's evolving. She is not retired. She is evolving. So I'd like to take a moment, and I have these talking points that they use to help guide me, and I'm going to try to follow them. But I want to take a moment to recognize my colleagues at the City of Tallahassee who helped make this possible. We all know our very capable, handsome. Look at our mayor, y'all. Look at him. Look at all sun-kissed and everything. Mayor Daley. Let's give him applause. And our Mayor Pro Tem also looking rested and sun-kissed. Mayor Pro Tem and the Dean, Commissioner Richardson. And I do not see any other city commissioners. If you're here, please say something. I didn't see you. We have former city commissioner, Miss Dr. Elaine Bryant. And we have our county commissioners with us. I see Commissioner Rick Minor. I see Commissioner Dozier. Are there any other county commissioners with us? Okay. Our former commissioner, Marjorie Turnbull, who is also retired. She's evolving as well. I see our state senator, Lorraine Osley. Go ahead. The mother of Iron Wheel. Yes. Standing in place for all of us and all of our children. Thank you so very, very much. And then my buddy who runs with me, and she runs as fast as I do. I'm not literally running, but you know, we're all over the place. Representative Allison Tant. I call her up and I say, Tant, where is that? Because she's everywhere. She's from Madison to wherever she is these days. Are there any other elected officials? Our property appraiser, Dr. Akin Akiyami. Any other elected officials that I met? Oh, my school board members. Yes, absolutely. The chair of the school board, my good friend who is deliciously proud on many occasions, Daryl Jones. Yes. And my school board representative from my district, Roseanne. Good morning. School board member Roseanne. Anybody else that I may have missed? This is what happens when I don't write it down. Who? I can't see, y'all. Former school board member, my good friend, Mrs. Maggie Lewis Butler, and former city manager, Anita Favors. Yes. And also we have our appointed officials with us this morning. We have our city attorney, Ms. Cassandra Jackson. We also have our deputy city manager, Ms. Cynthia Barber. And our city manager is out of town, but we also have our assistant city manager, Karen Jummerville. All right, did I get everybody? If not, count it to the head and not the heart. and all the other city staff that make this possible, our Parks and Rec, and all the other folks who make all this happen. And our chief of police and the police back there, we should feel well protected because they're about, some of them are clothed and some of them are in plain clothes. So we're in good shape. Okay, having done all of that, now let's get down to why we are here. I'd like to also thank Mrs. Barnes' family for joining us today. I already thanked her daughter for letting us have her mama. And I told her, you've been in Tallahassee so much this year, y'all might as well go ahead and move on back to Tallahassee. So you're welcome to come home at any time. We've already spoken of her handsome husband, Mr. Calvin Barnes, her daughter, Denise Williams. Go ahead and stand, let them see you. And she loves her daughter, but when I talk to her, she talks about her granddaughter, she just twinkles because she knows I understand these grandchildren. Miss Brianna Williams, granddaughter to Mrs. Barnes. And her sisters, well, her sister, Miss Mary Hadley, who has taught most of the children here in Leon County, including mine, and her daughter Melody, and her son, who I just met this morning, her eldest son, Kenneth, the general counsel of, you know, Mama told me all this. Deputy General, Assistant General Counsel where?
Department of Transportation.
Department of Transportation. All right. You know, Mama tell it all. Mama tell it all. And her cousins, Emma Hill and Ann Gilliam. Where are you? All right, all right. All right. Any other family members that we may not have? All right. Okay, all right. Okay, the other family back there waiting. All right, very good. We also have some folks who travel here. You know, it's one thing to just show up, but it's another thing to think it not robbery to travel. And we have the Brooksville Historical Society representatives from Brooksville, Florida. Would you please stand? And we have some classmates that we're going to talk about in a little bit for a special presentation. As you may have noticed, parks, roads, buildings, and more are often named in honor of people who have made a significant impact. However, this has commonly occurred many years, sometimes decades later, because I feel it important that the person receiving such an honor experience the gratitude of the community that they've influenced. I was proud to bring this recommendation forward, and I want to appreciate my colleagues for joining and making sure that this happens. But let me tell you, I'm pretty smart, but I'm not as smart as some. And I got this recommendation from a community member, is where it came from. Miss Patsy Eccles, are you here, Patsy? If she's not here, y'all let her know that I gave her credit. She sent me this recommendation and I brought it forward. So thank you, Patsy, for planting the seed and then for us being able to go ahead and do this in Ms. Barnes' honor. She absolutely deserves this. So we came to honor her today, and Ms. Barnes is she's focused, she's a focused and effective person and who works tirelessly, y'all know that, to retain and preserve African American history. This has helped to create this remarkable project here in Tallahassee, including the Smokey Hollow Commemoration, where we are standing today. So today you'll hear much more about her work. I'd like to welcome to the stage, the sun-kissed mayor of the city of Tallahassee, John Daly.
You're too much. You call me sun-kissed. I'm just blushing. You call me good-looking, DWC. I'm gonna take you everywhere with me to do introductions.
Please don't tell Bill Mumford.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Daly. I am the proud mayor of the great city of Tallahassee, and today of all days, I could not be more proud. Altamise, we are here to celebrate you. And over the years that we've gotten to know each other, I know you don't like us talking about you and singing your praises, and I know that you don't like this type of stuff, but we're going to do it anyway because it is time to recognize you as the true leader in our community. And we are so proud and honored and you are my friend and my mentor, and thank you. To the Barnes family, welcome back to Tallahassee. It's great to see everybody. To our friends from Brooksville and that have traveled far and wide, thank you for being here today. Make sure you spend lots of money and support our local economy while you're here. But we're great to see everybody. And Altamise, I hope you take a second and just look around. Look at the love that is here today in this park and the people that have come from near and far to be here with you today. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Altamise is the preeminent leader locally in the preservation and recognition of African American history. And after 30 years of employment with the state of Florida, she founded the John Gilmore Riley Center and Museum in 1996. It was the first community-based African American historic museum in Tallahassee, and she grew it to what it is today. Over the years, she has also helped preserve local history in notable spaces such as the Frenchtown Marker Trail, Hickory Hill, Munree and Greenwood Cemeteries, Cascades Heritage Trail and Civil Rights Wall, the FAMU Way Historical Trail, and as mentioned, Smokey Hollow Commemoration. And it's not just our community that has truly benefited, Altamise, from your work. Your impact has been felt well beyond our city limits. Well beyond our city limits. In 1997, she organized the Florida African American Heritage Preservation Network, a professional museum association. She has directed the research and publication of 28 books and documentaries based on the historical research and to ensure future generations remaining that they stay engaged in history. She has provided internship experiences for more than 70 graduate level students. Let's pause there alone. Not only preserving our history, but teaching the students and providing the internships as well. Ms. Barnes is a true Tallahassee treasure. Her commitment to preserving Black history has taught us all so much and will profoundly impact generations to come. Naming this park in your honor, Altamise, at the former site of one of Tallahassee's most iconic neighborhoods and one whose history you helped preserve is a fitting tribute. Well done. Residents like Altamise make our community special, and I am so glad that we are here honoring Althemese Barnes today. And as the mayor, it is my specific privilege to be here to honor you as well. I want to thank everyone for coming out today, and at this time, I would like to invite Katie McCormick to the podium for a few words. Katie.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioner Williams-Cox. Thank you, Mayor Daley, for your kind words. Thank you for this wonderful honor. It's good to see so many people out here this morning. I'm a little shorter than everybody else. Let me just adjust this. I hope I didn't just break it. Okay. Exactly. As chair of the City of Tallahassee John Gilmore Riley Center and Museum Board of Directors, it is my privilege and honor to welcome you here today. I can think of no more deserving person to be honored today with the naming of this park. Mrs. Althemese Barnes is an educator, a mentor, a leader, a tireless advocate. We've heard that word already today, and I think we'll hear it more. Tireless advocate for sharing the history, the rich history of African Americans in Florida. Her contributions can be found all over Tallahassee, as Mayor Daley just said, all over the state of Florida, as also recognized, and also nationally. Her work, her service on the Institute of Museum and Library Services Board of Directors, a position for which she was appointed by President Barack Obama, is just one example of how she takes her phenomenal community leadership out into the world to make it a better place. Mrs. Barnes centers partnership and capacity building in absolutely every initiative. In building the amazing organization that is the John G. Riley Center and Museum, Mrs. Barnes saw clearly the opportunity to develop shareable models, garner and build resources for sustainability, and to preserve African American history throughout Florida. She outlined this work in one of those national publications, Partnership Power, Essential Museum Strategies for Today's Networked World. As Mayor Daley noted, it was through her leadership that the Florida African American Heritage Preservation Network was established in 1997 and continues to sustain itself as a network of over 30 Florida African American museums that continues to grow. It is the sharing of knowledge, the sharing of history, the sharing of resources that is at the center of Mrs. Barnes' remarkable career. Mrs. Barnes always starts with how can we? From there emanates possibility. Her dedication, persistence, y'all might know about that. You might know about this one too. Her persuasiveness, her pursuit of collaboration has led to great success in all projects. I'm proud to be a part of a partnership that she built through an IMLS grant-funded project that sees the Riley Archives, the collection housed at the library of the Tallahassee Community College, being digitized in partnership with Florida State University, where I happen to also be. This project is taking the unique and storied history of the African American community here in Tallahassee, Leon County, in the state of Florida, digitizing those records to make them available to students and community members here, but also to the world. And that project serves not just as a benefit to the Riley Center or to our community, but as a model project designed by Mrs. Barnes to give back to institutions across the Florida African American Heritage Preservation Network. Every action is a stepping stone to share more history. Mrs. Barnes builds community. She builds coalitions. This park and the Smokey Hollow Commemoration are further evidence of this. In gratitude, Mrs. Barnes asked me to recognize and thank Mr. John Lawrence, chairman of the Smokey Hollow Historical Group, and the historical group that helped create and imagined this space. Zella Gaines, Essie Shears, Ron Spencer, Rosetta Griffin, Cicero Hartsfield, Torio Osborne, Lester and Maggie Oliver, Maisha Mitchell, Maya Stargle, Dorothy Jones, Dr. Jennifer Koslow, Gerald Ensley, Dr. Anthony Dixon, Julian Hare, Velma White, Jesselyn White, and the Julius Fisher family, as well as, and I see some representatives here today, the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Inc., and the Lincoln High School class of 1961, all of whom supported the creation and dedication of this commemoration and other projects that the dedication of this park and unveiling represents this morning. As a Riley board member, I have been blessed to learn from Mrs. Althemese Barnes. It is an honor to work with you, Mrs. Barnes. Fellow board members and the Riley staff to educate students and community members on the significance of African American history as a vital part of American history. There are board members, past and present, many of whom may be with us today, that I want to recognize and thank so much for being ambassadors for the Riley Museum through the years and helping fulfill its mission. Because of you, the historic Riley House remains a beacon of education, hope, and inspiration, and projects like this park have been accomplished. Thank you. The list of projects and partnerships that Mayor Daley went through, it's a long list, and I'm not even sure his list achieved recognition of all of the projects Mrs. Barnes has been involved in. These projects are a testament of her work and her efforts. We will continue in this community across Florida and across the country to benefit from Mrs. Barnes' work for generations. Thank you, Mrs. Barnes, for your dedication, for your leadership, for teaching us, for lifting up the voices of the elders and sharing their history, for inspiring us to ask questions, to learn more, and to share more. Thank you.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The honoree herself. None other than, and she gets a swig of water. None other than the person who you've heard about all morning, Mrs. Althemese Barnes. Please stand, you all. Please stand and give honor to this great jewel of our community. And to the class of 1961, go ahead and come forward. You come on, Ms. Barnes. The class of 1961 of the old Lincoln High School. The original. Forgive me. Now y'all know I'm from Quincy, so forgive me, because you know, I just remember Lincoln and Carter Paramore, you know, so. Yeah.
Good morning. We are the proud class of 1961 from the Lincoln High School of Tallahassee, Florida. And we are so proud of our classmate. She has been wonderful. Everything that has been said, and I'm not going to be redundant, because she has brought our history back and made it known to people who have not been aware. We are so, so proud of her, and we appreciate her. So we are giving her our blessings that she moves forward one day into retirement and enjoy her children, grandchildren, and whomever she wishes to do so with. And we want to thank the Commissioner Daly and all of the other commissioners. Thank you for this honor. It is well deserved. I'm not going to repeat what you said. Everything I thought about, I said, but it's hot, and we don't want to keep repeating the same thing. She has shown us what she can do, and she did it. She worked untiringly, unselfishly. She did not look for any recognition. Every time we gave her something, oh, no. And so we never tell her what we're going to do, because we appreciate everything. She's been outstanding for the city of Tallahassee and the Black community. Thank you all.
So much. And we know who we miss, Ann Roberts. Good morning. Way out there, good morning. And I just want to say thank you to the city of Tallahassee and the many friends and family that are here to witness this special time with me today. I am overwhelmingly proud and appreciative that my name was chosen to be connected to this very important historic space. And I have to share, were it not for very proactive advocacy, this park, passive because people can view it at any time. No one has to have a key. Just come and view the history. Had it not been for proactive advocacy, this history would have been lost probably, most likely, and forgotten in time. And you say, how so would that happen? Well, as the 24-acre Cascades Park planning meetings were taking place in the mid-2000s in the DOT building, that's the white building over from us, which is located in Smokey Hollow, there was no reference to the historic footprint of the area, Smokey Hollow. Though it was a thriving community of over 80 families, there are schools, churches, businesses, everything. But it was eminent domain in the 1960s. Not hearing there's something. Give me a fan, baby. Thanks. Not hearing in the media or reading anywhere or hearing any comments about Smokey Hollow, I decided to begin attending the meetings. They were held on Saturday mornings at the DOT building. Back then we called, I guess I crashed the meeting. And when Q&A time came, what is it? Well, you know, there used to be a community where this park is being developed. Kept saying that, but on deaf ears. At a certain point, though, I was approached by a young man who was at those meetings. And he said, you know, I have heard what you're saying, and I would like to come and talk with you about that. That person is here today. That young man was Wayne Taylor. He's assistant city manager now. So Wayne came to the Riley House, we talked about it, and he said, well, you know, I would like to do something about that. He said, but we need a plan. He said, if we could get a group together to work on this, he said, I need a good chairperson, and he was looking at me. I said, well, Wayne, I have so much going on, but I will find us a good chair. So I contacted my friend and associate, John Lawrence, and John said, okay, I will be the chair, provided you are the vice chair. You will bring me up to date on the history, and then you would be there with me all through the project. I agreed, was happy to do so. Now, what I would like to do in my brief remarks is couch some of this into 4 points of importance that I feel, and hoping it will fall on listening ears. Although I'm sure this is the choir already here, but just in case. Point 1, the importance of being at the table and advocating. And that's what Wayne's presence did. First, you have to be at the table to advance the concern. Wayne and I met, the historical group met, we researched, documented, and preserved the Smokey Hollow history for inclusion in the Cascades project. And that's why we are here today. Point 2, the value of historic spaces and places. Knowing history and understanding it and proactively learning from it is the root of its value. Understanding the past can affect the paths. Think about today, that people take in their lives, the destinations, their behaviors, their avocations, human interactions, and behaviors. This is why historic spaces and places like this park and others that I'm being recognized for today are so important to maintain and memorialize for their value to educate, advance humanity, and I say to know history is at the root of intelligence. All right. Point 3, lifelong learning. You heard them say I worked for 30 years with the state, retired December 31st, 1995. January 2nd, 1996, we were opening the Riley House. I hate to say that I do not regret the decision, that I do not regret it. I also must say that I didn't do it alone. There were other retirees that I called upon who answered my call to be volunteer ambassadors and to help establish and grow the community-based Black History Museum in Tallahassee, which is the Riley House. Those of you who don't know it, they will be open after this so you can go and view the Riley House. Others in the community stepped forward also to constitute the Riley Museum Board of Directors to help us put policies in place. So the doors to the house opened with a zero budget and volunteers. And when people would say, well, Miss Barnes, for the gala, the rockathon, or whatever, what's the budget? I said, zero. Nothing. We have to find people to help us do this. And of course, my husband, I have to talk about him because before we opened, I think it was the night or two before, he was there with me scrubbing down the walls, putting up carpet from that beautiful hardwood floor. Yes, before we opened in preparation, Calvin was there with me, helping to scrub the walls, pull up the carpet that was just covering these beautiful hardwood floors, and Scandia draperies. Some of you might remember Scandia, and making sure they had made the draperies correctly and they were going to hang correctly. So thank you, Calvin. There is always a need for leaders and followers. Now, the personal benefit is lifelong learning and giving and making contributions to benefit not only present, but future generations. I want to thank the City of Tallahassee for bringing sustainability to the Riley House by having it become the City of Tallahassee John G. Riley Center and Museum under the auspices of the city. And there are other museums already. We are an organization of models. There are other organizations right now, African American museums, pursuing this model. And they are asking me, could you send me your plan? I've had Zoom meetings and everything about that. Brooksville, Evelyn, my group back there, she's representing the Florida African American Heritage Preservation Network. Across the city are signs of the 24-year Riley Museum influence on several historic projects which you have heard. I'm happy that I was able to lead and play a pivotal role in them. Very noteworthy, and I don't know if many people know this, Wayne does, but a year after this park was completed, over 800,000 people voted in a 4-week contest sponsored by the Florida chapter of the American Institute of Architects, AIA of Florida. That voting resulted in this historic space being designated the winner of the People's Choice Award for Design and Community Engagement. Quite an achievement. And I'm going to take personal privilege here because I saw somebody, you heard me say zero budget. Our yard man for 4 years, where you Circuit Judge George Reynolds' chief. For 4 years, Chief Circuit Judge and his 2 boys cut the yard for Riley. And at a point he said, Ms. Barnes, you think we have a little money in here? And we did, and thanks, Mr. Ingram has kept us straight. Our financial accountability has been in good hands. Our United States Colored Troops have taken us across the state as well, and a region and everywhere, putting on those reenactment performances. Reenactments, I'm sorry, not performances. I'm sorry, Mr. Rose. And so I don't want to start calling names because there's so many, but all former board members and current board members, we appreciate you so much. And my last point, this has been a faith journey for me. And I want to share my definition of faith as applied to my work and hope that it will benefit some listening ear. Faith only knows success. Failure is not an option. Faith is oblivious to doubt, moving past the what ifs. Faith sees the possible despite the problem. Faith functions as if something has already happened before it happens. And for faith, the mantra to achievement is honesty, integrity, hard work, and respect for the value that can be found in others. That's my definition and my anchor post. Thanks, Marjorie Turnbull, our first person to get some legislative funding for us, for the Florida Network. Again, I thank the City of Tallahassee for sustaining the legacies. Those who joined us today for this unveiling, of course, we talked family, my daughter, my granddaughter, my daughter, my niece, her brother. This family here is a family of attorneys, by the way. She's local attorney, social attorney. He's one down in Lakeland and another one is up in Atlanta. So anyway, my family, my sister, as you heard, taught many schools. My still brother-in-law, son-in-law in practice. Thank you, Byron. And we have others here. I saw Gwen Norton and somebody else. Anime. Oh, Juanita Moore, Anime Butler is here. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you all so much. And my Sigma Gamma Rho sorority members, the class of 1961, and I understand there are some other classes represented here. Thank you so much. Funders, we can't make it without funders and partners. I said the USCT, the Riley Museum Board, and the foundation, Mr. Rocha. Thank you for chairing the foundation. And the Carrying On. So the Riley staff, they might be over getting set up. But anyway, to the Riley staff for carrying on so competently, though they still dial, I won't say my number, but they still dial my number. And that's okay. Thanks, everyone. My fellow museum directors, I see you, Melissa and Jonathan and others that are here. It's a partnership. We've been partners across all of what we do. And with that, oh, where's Grant? Did he stay? Is Grant here? Capiluto. You see that other building next to the Riley House? Brett was like Wayne. He came to the house one day and he said to the Riley House, he said, Altamise, I'm just wondering, he did our pest control. I can't say this too loud, but he's out of the business now. He did it pro bono for us. So one day he wanted to know, what else did we need? I said, well, you notice, I said, the space, when people come to have a meeting, we have to meet and do tours in the same space. So he said, well, let me see what I can do with that. So didn't take long, a couple of months later, he said, look, let's do a capital campaign, $300,000. He said, my family will do the reception, free, no charge. And let's get some $1,000 donors up front. We went to work, we did that. He got with Commissioner Ziffer and got with contractors that they knew, that Grant knew independently, sent them over. They gave us the, I guess you call it the bottom flow amount to do the work. And in less than a year, we had raised that $300,000. And that's why the two-story visitor center is over there today. So you heard me say, I didn't do it by myself, but you have to have a leader. It's sort of like the wolves. I like to say this, and then I'm gonna sit down. You know, you see the wolf, but it's a lot of wolves back there with him. That's the pack. But the strength of the wolf, though, is where? In the pack.
School is now out of session. Have we not been taught this morning? And I don't know if you were taking notes, but she gave us 4 points. And I'm hoping that the recordings of her speech today will go viral. You know, so much negative goes viral easily. We want this positive message to go viral. What she said was that she did not do this by herself. And she goes and she sits down. What does she do? Her husband's hand is waiting for her. And there they are holding hands. This is what I'm talking about. Love, faith, and support will take you a long way in life. Thank you, Mrs. Barnes, for showing us the way. I've learned a lot from Ms. Barnes, from watching afar. Then I came in closer. And then we went to the legislature together the past couple of years. We went over there to kick some righteous, you know what? Because there were people over there who did not understand Emancipation Day in Florida. So we went over there to school them. And some of them won't be returning. They need to go back and learn our history. I followed her, did what I could, and many of us worked on a conference that was held last year, first time ever, on the real ending of slavery in the United States, December 6th. And folks from all over the state of Florida and other places came. I watched her put this thing together. I started my little feeble trying to put it together because, you know, we got these degrees and we think we know something. I sent it over there. She didn't say anything. She just did her part and sent, she redid it and sent it back to me, and I swallowed it whole because it was great. I've learned a lot. Thank you, Mrs. Barnes, for being willing to teach. Say what you said, Ms. Barnes. I'll just hold it up.
I just wanted to say that these two publications are the result of the Smokey Hollow project. The small one is, and these were produced by Riley House. This one, Times Remembered, was penned by Julianne Hare and myself, and Fisher family member help. The larger one is in the Library of Congress. If you want to know the entire history of Smokey Hollow, Google Cascades Park, Smokey Hollow, Library of Congress, and that large book will come up in print with all the houses that were there, the streets, businesses, everything. So just wanted you to know that those are the kind of publications. Thank you, Dr. Akbar. I saw you later. He was a charter member of the board.
All right. Now we're ready to go to the unveiling.